George Washington basically had to invent the American presidency from scratch, and there were a million ways he could have screwed it up. In 1789, he becomes the first president of the United States, but there's no instruction manual for this job. Every single decision he makes is going to set a precedent for the next 250 years. At this point, the Constitution's been ratified, and Washington gets unanimously elected. To this day, that's the only time that's ever happened. And on April 30th, he's inaugurated in New York City. But here's the thing, foreign powers are basically placing bets on how quickly this American experiment is going to collapse. Republics don't really work, historically speaking. Most countries are run by kings, and the assumption is that without a monarch, America will descend into chaos. So Washington knows everything he does is being watched by the entire world, and even the seemingly small choices he makes are huge. Like, what do you call the president? Some people wanted Your Majesty or Your Excellency, and to be fair, Your Excellency is what they called him when he was commander-in-chief during the Revolutionary War, but even still, Washington says no, just call me Mr. President, that's it. He's deliberately choosing to sound like a regular person. He doesn't want to sound like a king. He creates the first presidential cabinet. Thomas Jefferson is Secretary of State, Alexander Hamilton is Secretary of Treasury, Henry Knox, Secretary of War, and Edmund Randolph is Attorney General. Again, none of this is in the Constitution. Washington's literally just making it up as he goes. Meanwhile, Congress passes the Judiciary Act, which creates the Supreme Court and makes John Jay the first Chief Justice. They also pass the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, and send them to the states for ratification, and heads up, this takes a couple years. But even still, Washington's biggest challenge isn't the politics, it's proving that this whole republic thing can actually function. Can a country really govern itself without a monarch? Can different political factions work together without tearing each other apart? Can 13, soon to be 14 states with Vermont actually stay united? And Washington knows he's walking a tightrope. Be too weak and the country falls apart, be too strong and you become the king that Americans just fought a war to get rid of. Every precedent he sets will either strengthen or weaken the presidency for centuries. And it's not an easy time to be president by any means, so follow for 1790 when Alexander Hamilton drops his financial plan that nearly destroys the Union before it really gets started.